everyone. Today we'll be talking about the real number system. The real number system is usually represented differently. I like to represent it in an ice cream cone because it's just so much more fun. So we need to categorize these numbers. Your smallest category of number is called natural numbers. These are numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep counting until infinity. It will still be a natural number. Whole numbers are a category further. Now this includes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything that also was a natural number. The only addition is a 0. Integers is your next biggest category. This will include negative numbers all the way to infinity, as well as positive numbers and that 0. Again, it includes everything that was above it. And finally, we have rational numbers, which include decimals, fractions, terminating decimals, repeating decimals, all of that good stuff. And again, everything above it because it is inclusive of it. Now, in 8th grade, we start to see irrational numbers. These are those crazy numbers that go on forever and do not have a pattern, such as pi. Pi is a great example of an irrational number. It's kind of crazy. Yet all of these numbers are still real. When you get to high school, you'll learn about imaginary numbers. For now, real numbers includes all of these categories. So here's how I like to explain this, is just by thinking about it in real life. So if you have Coca-Cola Light or Diet Coke, that would be your smallest category. There's not very many of them. One further than that, so whole numbers would be like all the Coca-Cola products, such as Coca-Cola Zero, regular Coke, Diet Coke. It also includes Sprite, right? All those products are Coca-Cola. One category further than that now includes all soda or soft drinks. So now we have Pepsi, and now we have Dr. Pepper, and we have all these different soft drinks, but it still includes Coca-Cola and Diet Coke. Further than that, we now have all kinds of beverages. We have water, lemonade, juice, Gatorade, but beverages still include everything that was above it, just like in the real number system. So now we have all kinds of drinks, but we still have those Cokes, those Diet Cokes, those Coke Zeros, all of the above. Now, cake is very different from beverages, right? But both cake and beverages would both still be found on a menu at a restaurant. So we can think about real numbers being the cone and the menu that we would see, and all of those things would still be on the menu, regardless of how different cake and beverages are. Same thing with rational and irrational numbers. They are very different from each other, yet they are both still considered real numbers, which is our cone. So I want to run you through a couple of examples where we are comparing two categories and how they relate to each other. So really keep in mind that ice cream cone. So we have real numbers and whole numbers. So real numbers include everything. So real numbers is always going to be the biggest category possible. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle with the R representing the real numbers. Whole numbers is a part of that, yet there's less numbers in the whole category than real. Real is everything. So it's a smaller circle, still connected, and that would be your whole numbers. Next up, we have irrational, so the cherry on top, and then rational, that biggest category. But remember, they were very different from each other. So this time, irrational is going to have its own circle, and rational is also going to have its own circle because they are not related to each other whatsoever. Whole and irrational. Again, I see irrational. Those are the cherry on top, so they will get their own circle. So we have irrational numbers, and we have whole numbers, two separate circles. Next up, we have natural and rational. So if I think about those categories, natural, whole, integer, rational. Rational is my biggest circle. Natural was inside of that. So they are connected, but rational was a bigger category for my numbers. So this is how I can represent that. Next, we have integer and real. As soon as I see real numbers, that's my biggest category. So I already know that's going to be a big circle, and connected inside of that are integers. Lastly, we have irrational and real. Now, you might think that they need separate circles because irrational, but remember, real does include everything. Even the irrational numbers are real. So we have to have a big circle with real and a smaller circle with irrational in there. So the only category that irrational will ever be part of is the real category, because they are real numbers, yet they do not belong to anything else. Any other time you see irrational, they will be a separate circle, just like we did here and here. I hope this helped review sets and subsets.